Take me out to the trapeze. Take me out to the circus. Hello, all. In honor of my favorite sport coming back, I just threw that in for laughs. As you can see by the back over here with the stuff above my good shirts. I have my Met shirts out, but that's what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Young Justice and the daring dangers who float through the air with the greatest of ease. Dick Grayson's back on the flying trapeze. Yes, Robin, Richard Grayson, um, has said that Batman has given the group a plan to go and look at this, go to Europe, all over Europe, and see what's happening with this, with these robberies. And Red Arrow says, I'm in. I'm going to go for the spy thing. And I know this may, in fact, hurt one of my fellow reviewers who, goes out, has come up with the phrase, the great Roy Harper's sex riot. Not my phrase. I don't find any of the males attractive. Well, the females here that really much attracted me. The last real cartoon that I found attractive was Poison Ivy during the Batman the Animation series. At least to the point of real attractionness. However, we move on because we are now in 2012. So, really interesting is that they left Kid Flash behind, and the reason that Robin did so is because he knew about the quote-unquote backstory. And I find it really interesting that he did. Well, anyway, there are great robberies going around, and it seems to coalesce with the Haley Circus. Every time they stop, they go in. There's a robbery in that city. Now, so Robin decides to get the team together, and they all become the Danger Family. And they all have pseudonyms beginning with the letter D. This guy is D, and this girl is D. Diane, Dana, Dave, Dean, Dan, whatever. I'm sure I've mixed at least one of those up by now. So, there was also a cold going around. And Martians didn't know that they could get cold. And one of the things is, who knew Martians could get cold? And Robin says H.G. Wells, and for all those who are watching who don't have any idea, please Google H.G. Wells. You will also find that he was once a character on Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, for all those young people who have never actually seen the 1990 show. But he was an actual author who wrote this thing, who wrote a couple of books. One was called, well, I'll let you look it up, and which one figures out that Also, the way that Robin told everyone about Diane's act, I found very interesting. But they find out that um, it's the parasite, or at least Robin does. And now, Robin, remember, is the youngest of the group. He might be the one with the most training, but he still is just 13 or 14 years age. And uh, basically, Superboy is 16, even though she was born 48 years ago. Earth-wise, Megan is 16. Um, Roy is 18. And Artemis is 15. Maybe she turns 16 sometime in December. But you have to double check on that. So they find out that it's Parasite. And before they do, though, Superboy is taking these patches. Now, I did raise the question of whether these patches last week were supposed to be drugs, steroids, most likely style, or not, because it's only really um, suppressing his uh, DNA of the human side and releasing the natural Kryptonian side, um, not making, not giving him, anything that wasn't really natural in to begin with. But maybe it looks like it's going at what? Anyway, they realize that the next stop is about in Switzerland, the Super Collider, which using the real world Super Collider, also brilliant idea. Now, apparently, the Parasite is working for Intergang, so at least we get a good Intergang reference. And I also like how they bring in the character of King Faraday in as an Interpol cop. But at the end of it, they defeated Parasite because whenever he gets someone's strength, he also gets their weaknesses, and in this case, including fire, from Miss Martian. Now, so they get recovery, and by the end, Jack Haley, the old circus master, tells Dan Danger, "Listen, don't tell me your name is Dan Danger. You and your friends are good, but you don't think I recognize a Grayson when I see one? Oh, for goodness sakes, the Graysons are the DC version of the Flying Walenda. So you don't think that the circus man is not going to notice one of the Flying Walendas, even the youngest one, when they come back?" And he's coming in there, and they do one last, circus thing, and he says, "It's so good to see you, boy." So that's the case. Tomorrow I'll go back to redoing ones that we've already seen that I've yet to review. Who do you think the mole is? Because this one says there is no mole. Is there a mole? I've actually seen the things, but for those who I've seen like the Brazilian one, so I know if there is or is not a mole, and if there is, who he or she is, and it's not who you think. If it is or not. I mean, if there is. What do you want from me, folks? Bye bye.